Shalom Israel, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah rock a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamor Allah thumb by Hashem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. I'm priest officer of 50 Quran Yallah. And tonight, as you know, every Tuesday night we do it up for the Tuesday night brotherhood class. And tonight, my specific topic, as you can tell by the title, is going to be envy slash holding a grudge. That's something that's big in the Black, Latino, and Native American Black, Latino, and Native American community. It's us holding grudges. And the fact that we do hold a grudge and envy each other, it breeds chaos, it breeds violence, it breeds unorderly conduct amongst us as a nation. You understand? In the ISUP camp under Commander General Yohana, we are taught to always be in decency and order. You understand? We taught to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of our power. You understand? When we keep our law, statutes, and commandments of our power, you understand? It governs orderly people. You understand? And it governs stability. It governs. That's why the Lord calls us a holy and separate people unto Himself. You understand? The Lord wants us to be model citizens for the rest of the nations on planet Earth. You understand? And He chose the children of Israel because He wanted to put His name on us because we're a smaller nation. You understand? We a nation that come from a couple of brothers that was promised. You understand, to rule planet Earth because they was orderly. You understand? They understood how to take orders from the Most High and how to be that model citizen, so to speak, for lack of a better term, for everyone else in the world. You understand? But the fact that we live in the oppressor's kingdom, you understand, and we've been oppressed and we not understanding what our law, statutes, and commandments are because we're being deceived, you understand, by these people who follow up under this oppressor, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of in these churches, you understand? And basically tonight, I'm going to get into a couple scriptures about how we're supposed to treat one another. I'm going to go into a piece of the story between King Saul and David before he was anointed king, you understand? And I'm gonna go into the story and basically show you the envy and the jealousy and how that was Saul's demise. You understand? And also, I'm gonna go in on how brothers hold grudges against each other back in ancient times and in current times that we live in now. You understand? Holding a grudge against your people is literally the death of your people. You understand? Because if you got a grudge against your brother and y'all come from the same nation, y'all the same family. You understand? You can't fight for your brother how you would fight for your brother if y'all was on one accord and not being envious of each other or holding a grudge. You understand? So without further ado, I'm gonna go to the scriptures as we do. You understand? And I'm gonna go to the law first. I'm gonna go to the book of the law first, which is the first 5 books of the scriptures. You understand? And I'm gonna show you a law in here that what's the word I'm looking for? That basically that tells us we cannot envy each other. You understand? We cannot. We are not allowed to hate one another. You understand? We are not allowed to hold grudges against each other. Our nation is built on brotherhood. If a brother has a grudge with another brother, he's supposed to come to that brother and basically nip that grudge in the butt immediately. You understand? You can't let strife between another brother linger over. You understand? That's how stuff gets worse. You understand? Salakia. And I'm going to go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17, right? Salakia. Yeah, verse 17. This is the book of Leviticus, Salakia. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. You understand? We are subjected to love each other, thus saith the Lord. You understand? You shall not hate your brother in your heart. And that means you can't hold a grudge against your brother for no reason at all. You understand? The Lord is smarter than man. He understands that if one brother holds a grudge against another brother, he's subject to do something evil to that brother. You understand? Reading on. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. It says we shall in any wise rebuke our neighbor. What that means is if you got a problem with a brother, you go talk to that brother. You understand? You don't sit up there and just hate that brother in your heart for something that he did against you. The brother might even, he might not even know that he did anything against you. You understand? That's why we are commanded to go and tell our brother his fault, what he did to us, you understand? So we can get an understanding with each other. You understand what I'm saying? Salakia. Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. You can't avenge or hold a grudge against none of the children of your people. You understand? And avenge means basically you won't revenge for whatever that brother did. You understand? That's holding a grudge. You understand? That's sitting back. Let's say a brother did something wrong to you, and maybe he don't know he did nothing wrong to you. But if you sit back and you don't come to the brother and tell him his faults when he did it, you and him alone, you understand? He's gonna think nothing of it. While you sit up there and think about it all the time, you understand? And what it's gonna do is it's gonna make your relationship worse because he don't know that he did something wrong to you, but you think about it all the time. Oh yeah, and Salaki, a quick sidebar: if any brother or sister is attending a class, please put your name and your city. You understand, so we can mark you down for class. You understand, so we can mark you down for attendance. Yeah, but like I was saying, all right, your relationship is you're always going to be at odds with another brother if you sit back and hold in what you think another brother did wrong to you instead of going to that brother and telling him his faults. You understand? And the reason why the Lord wants us to do that because the Lord created man. He knows exactly how man thinks. You understand? And man, a lot of times, man, we think irrational and unlogical. You understand? Like a man can sit down and ponder something over and over in his mind, and it might be the craziest stuff ever. But he's just a man. He's only flesh. You understand? So he might think, and I'm talking about men without the proper guidance. You understand? Because in ISUBK, we follow these law, statutes, and commandments under Christ, under command of General Yana. You understand what I'm saying? And we are trained to be able to deal with our brothers accordingly in a righteous manner. You understand? We don't sit up here and hold a grudge against a brother that when he did something wrong to us, whether he knew he did something wrong or whether he didn't know he did something wrong. We don't sit back and hold grudges against brother. You understand? We sit, talk about our differences like men, you understand, and we push forward. Like the scriptures say, if your brother will hear you, you have gained your brother. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull that precept next, you understand? But we don't sit back and sit and hold grudges against our brothers and sisters in the ISUBK, you understand? That's wicked as hell for you to sit back and look at another brother for something that he did, you understand? And you to just hold a grudge against him. We can't get further as a nation, you understand? We damn sure can't get out of oppression when we sit up here envying each other and holding grudges against each other when you got a whole other separate nation of people that's oppressing us, that's got their foot on our necks day in and day out. You understand? You got other nations that come build up their businesses and build up their wealth in our community. You understand? And we go patronize their businesses and spend all of our money, you understand, with these heathens, and these heathens don't care nothing about our community. You understand? Meanwhile, we got this we plagued with Israelite on Israelite crime, whether you're a black, Latino, or Native American, you understand? We just don't get along with each other. You understand? None of the tribes. And all of this is because of oppression and poverty. But a lot of the reasons why we all don't get along with each other and brothers is killing each other left and right and all that type of stuff is because of envy, and it's because of holding grudges. You understand? Let me get this next precept. And this next precept, this is out of Christ's mouth. You understand? We're gonna go to the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and the 15th verse. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 15. And it reads, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. That's exactly what I just read in Leviticus. This is a precept on what I just read in Leviticus, the 19th chapter. You understand? Like Leviticus says, go to your brother and anywise rebuke your brother, meaning go talk to that brother and tell him what you did wrong, just like Christ is saying right here. You understand? Read on. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. So you're supposed to go to your brother, tell him what he did wrong to you. You understand? And if the brother sit back and be like, man, Salaki, I didn't know what I was doing. You understand? Or I'm going through something, man. It won't happen again. Salaki, brother. I didn't mean to offend you. You understand? And you my brother. We supposed to be in this war, you understand, to get our people out of hell together. You understand? So, Salaki, if I offended you, it won't happen again. And let's go sit down and have a drink and get some food together or something. That's how grown men sit back and talk out their differences. You understand? Not being emotional to where you over mad. You understand? Because being mad is an emotion. You understand? Being angry with another brother, that's an emotion. When you think of being emotional, you think of brothers crying. Nah, it ain't necessarily a brother crying all the time. You understand? A brother could get mad at another brother and be emotional, and he try to kill the brother. You understand? Because he can't control that anger emotion. You understand? And that's what we prevent here in this ISUPK by the Commander General Yana. Brothers in this school, we are disciplined and trained in the school to love our people the correct way. Not how this oppressor's kingdom wants you to love your people by you what they call it, fake love. You understand? Like you being extra cool with a brother just because he got money, or you understand? You and another brother, y'all hang out all the time when this brother got something that can benefit you. That's fake love. You understand? Here in this ISUPK, we don't care if you're rich. We don't care if you're happy, you're sad, you're poor, you're broke, you live in a mansion or live in a shack. You understand? We understand brotherhood in this ISUPK up under Commander General Yohana. And what we do is we conduct ourselves as brothers and we love one another every day of the week, 24 hours a day. You understand? We ain't permitted to sit back and hold no grudge like cowards. You understand? You got a problem with a brother in this school, you go talk to that brother. You understand? And Lord willing, the brother hears you and you get your brother back. Y'all back cool. Y'all back on one accord. Y'all back laughing, joking, having drinks with each other. You understand? Going out to do certain activities outside of coming to class together and outside of going to camp together. You understand? Reading on. Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. You understand? This is talking about taking a brother to counsel if he don't want to hear what you got to say. You get at a brother like Salaki, let me holler at you, right? man, you did woo, woo, woo. I ain't respect that. I feel like you was wrong for doing that, woo, woo. The brother like, man, I don't care what you talking about, man. Look, I don't feel like I was wrong in that situation. All right, cool. We can't get past it. No need to argue. You understand? All you gotta do is hit a brother with kind. Next thing you know, brothers will be getting a phone call to get taken account to get counsel. You understand? So we can get to the bottom of this problem, so we can keep in this fight to get our people out of hell, to get our people out of oppression. You understand? We don't need no skirmishes or nothing like that. You understand? To prevent a brother from giving his life for his other brother and the rest of his nation, so we can get up out of hell. You understand? So this verse 16 is talking about going to council. You understand? Verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, Salakia. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. Now, when you tell it unto the church, that word church means school. You understand? If the brother don't want to hear the counsel that was given to him by men above them, you understand? Then you bring that to a bigger council, meaning the whole school. That everybody in the school will hear the manner. You understand? And when they hear the manner, then you get your judgment from the school as a whole. You understand? Because if 2 or 3 witnesses can't do it, you understand? In the kingdom, 144 witnesses will do it. You understand? But right now, up in the ISUBK, the captains, the generals, and all the officers in the school, you understand? They gonna come up with a solution as a whole, collectively. You understand? Read on. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican. You understand? A heathen, we don't deal with heathens. You understand? We don't have heathen friends. You understand? We might do business with heathens as far as go to your establishment, because we cursed right now. You understand? We got to live out them curses of Deuteronomy. You understand? I got to go to my enemies for hunger, nakedness, and thirst, and in want of all things, because this is a curse placed on our people by the Most High God for us breaking his laws. You understand? That's the only way we deal with heathens, is if we go do business with you. We don't sleep with heathen women in here. You understand? We have no heathen friends that we invite to none of our events. They don't come eat dinner with us. You understand? Well, if you got a slavery and you got heathens at your job, you understand? Brothers ain't going to go on lunch breaks with these heathens. You understand? We don't deal with heathens. That's why I says if he don't hear the school, then let him be unto you as a heathen man, right? So like it. And a publican. You know what a publican is? A tax collector or a politician. Don't nobody like the IRS. You understand? You don't like bill collectors calling your house or calling your phone like, man, yeah, you late on this payment and woo all that. Nah, man. No brother that's being oppressed, or even if you're not being oppressed, you understand? Nobody wants nobody around them that's coming to take money out of their pocket. You understand? You can't trust politicians. You understand? You can't trust tax collectors. And that's what a publican is. You understand? A publican is an old word for a person that come collect taxes. You understand? If this brother don't hear what the whole school is saying to him, let him be as a heathen man and a publican. And you understand what this is saying? It's saying this brother will be kicked out of this school if he don't listen to the counsel from the whole school after he done neglected the counsel from men above him. You understand? And the reason why that is because us as Israel, we got to wean out the cancers in this school. You understand? In our nation. You understand? We got to be on one accord. You understand? If you're a doctor, right, and you got a patient that got cancer in its toe, you understand? Like, the doctor is most likely going to amputate that toe if he can't remove the cancer from the toe. You understand? With medicine or whatever type of instruments he has as a doctor. You understand? He's going to result to amputating that toe off of your foot. You understand? just so the cancer don't spread. You understand? And this is the same approach that the Lord takes to wean out the bad seed, so to speak, for lack of better terms, in Israel. You understand? Let that man be as a heathen and a publican man if he don't understand how to follow rules. You understand? And today, that means if you don't follow the rules in this school and you don't want to listen to the council, you're getting kicked up out of here. Simple and plain. We don't have no time to be sitting back arguing with a brother just because he think he right and he think the rest of the school is wrong. Okay, if you think the rest of the school is wrong, well, you can get up out of here and go do your own thing, and we still gonna keep fighting for our King Christ, abundant commandment, general Yahweh. You understand? Now, right now, that was a couple of scriptures on basically not holding a grudge. You understand? I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, and then I'm gonna go to envy. You understand? And I'm gonna bring out the story of King Saul and David. You understand? And basically how the Lord, first of all, Saul was a wicked king. You understand? He took bribes. He did things like that. You understand? So the Lord slowly but surely stripped the kingdom from him and gave it to David. You understand? And Saul understanding that, okay, the Lord is with David and he's not with me. He built up envy for David, you understand, and tried to kill David. And that's what envy will make you do against your brother. Envy will make you try to kill your brother or harm your brother. You understand? That's not being brotherly to envy your brother on any manner. You see a brother putting in a lot of work like King David was doing. Saul was supposed to sit back and look at his protege and be like, man, that's my nigga right there. Like that boy, he get busy. You feel me? But Saul had the spirit of jealousy and envy on him. You understand? Because he understood that he messed up as a king, and he understood that the Lord was no longer with him. You understand? Salakia. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17. Let me see. And verse, I'm going to just give you all the context. You understand? I'm going to start at verse 1, and I'm going to read down a little bit so y'all can get some context, right, of what happened. You understand? This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, and verse 1. Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle and were gathered together at Shekah, which belonged to Judah, and pitched between Shekah and Azekah and Ephes Damim, right? So basically, the Philistines, you understand, we going to war with these Philistines in one of our cities, you understand? Reading on, verse 2. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah and set the battle in array against the Philistines. Verse 3. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them, right? So you got us over here, Israel, right? We on one mountain. It's a valley in between us, right? And then you got the Philistines over here. You understand? Our camp against their camp. You understand? Verse 4. And there went out a champion. There went out a champion of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. Now, I did a little bit of research on how tall Goliath was. Goliath was about 8 feet tall. Probably over 8 feet tall, but at least 8 feet tall. Now, that's like me being an average sized man, about 6 foot, and I'm about to go up in battle against a heathen, an African. A lot of older people might remember this dude, but his name was Manute Bol. Manute Bol was a big basketball player from somewhere in Africa. He was a big old Hamite. You understand? Now Goliath most likely was taller than him, and Manu Bol on record is the tallest person to ever play in the NBA. I think he was about like 7'8" or something like that, damn near 8 feet. You understand? So Goliath, it's a big old African. You understand? And he had a helmet, of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. Not only was he hella big, this heathen had armor that was heavy as hell. You understand? And he had greaves of brass upon his legs and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing a shield went before him. You understand? This is a big old African with a whole lot of weaponry on his body. Imagine a dude 8.5, 9 feet tall, right? He already hella big, but on top of that, he got heavy ass armor on him. Salakia. This is a big dude with a lot of armor on his body. So this would intimidate an average sized man like myself or when King David, you understand, what was around. This like the average man would be intimidated by this big old African. You understand? Verse 8. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. So in today's terms, like this, like I always got to bring it to the hood. You understand? Just like you sitting in the house, or you sitting in the garage, and a big old bully from up the street is in front of your house. Like, yeah, bro, send that nigga out here, bro. I'm finna get on him, bro. He can't whoop me. You feel me? Like I'm finna get on him. This basically what this big old Philistine doing. He antagonized the children of Israel. You understand? He basically like, come on, any one of y'all, come out here. I'm finna dust you off. You can't win against me. You feel me? Verse 9. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall ye be our servants and serve us. This Philistine got real confidence in his skills of war. You understand? He done served up his whole nation on a platter to be servants to us if they lose. You understand? But he like, man, if y'all lose, y'all got to serve us. And the reason why he said that is because he thought he was going to beat us. You understand? He ain't understanding the Lord, our power is who we serve, and he is with the children of Israel. You understand? Verse 10. And the Philistine said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. He said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Like, I don't respect you niggas. You understand? I don't care who y'all is. I don't care what type of God y'all think y'all serve. Bring one of you niggas out here so I can slaughter you and we can make y'all our slaves and get this out the way. You understand? Now, David was the son of that Ephrathite of Bethlehem, of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. He had 8 sons, and the man went out, and the man went among men for an old man in the days of Saul. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to battle were Eliab the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah, right? So David got 3 brothers that's a part of Saul's army. You understand? These is big brothers. You understand? And David was the youngest, and the three eldest followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. And the Philistines drew near, and the Philistines drew near morning and evening and presented himself 40 days. So Goliath, he kept pulling up on us. You understand? He kept rocking up on us like, man, what's up? Y'all gonna send somebody down here, man? Let's get this going. You feel me? And Jesse said unto David his son, take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren, and carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain of their 1,000, and look how thy brethren fare, and take their pledge. So Jesse told King David, look, go bring these brothers some food while they at war. You understand? Go make sure your brothers is all right. You understand? And come back and tell me what's going on. You feel me? Now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. And David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with the keeper, and took and went as Jesse has commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to fight, and he shouted for the battle. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren, right? So David, he tended to his father's sheep. He left the sheep, you understand, went to go do what his father said, and went to go salute the brothers while they finna go to battle. So like it, verse 23. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them. So Goliath still talking that BS, and David heard him this time, right? And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that has come up, surely to defy Israel? Is he come up? And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. And David spoke to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killed the Philistine, and take away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? So David, like, hold on, what? Saul promising, and he promising what to the dude that killed Goliath? Man, who is this dude? Man, basically David, like, man, who is this dude, man? Like, bro, you a nobody compared to the men that's fighting the armies of the living God. He basically like, hey, who is this sucker, bro? You feel me? Like, man, ain't nobody work. Y'all gonna keep letting me, like, who is dude? David being, he like, man, bro, look, check this out, man. I don't know who bro think he is, but it ain't finna end good for him, you understand? We fight for the living God, you understand? Verse Salakia. Verse 27. And the people answered him after this manner, saying, so shall it be done to the man that killeth him. So they basically told him, like, look, this what's gonna happen. Whoever killed him, you're gonna get all these riches, you're gonna marry Saul's daughter, all that. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the man, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride and thy naughtiness of thine heart, for thou art come down that thou might see the battle. So he like, so David told his brother, like, look, bro, man, bro, what you come down here for, bro? You came down here to be an instigator. You understand? You came down here basically like just to see what's going on. Like you supposed to be tending to them sheep, bro. Like I already know, bro. You really just came down here, bro, to be nosy. In so many words, you understand? All right, bro, what's up with you? You feel me? And David said, what have I done? What have I now done? Is there not a cause? And he returned from him toward another and spake after the same manner. And the people answered him again after the former matter. So he man, like, damn, what I do now? Like you always on my line about something, bro. What I done did now? He spent off from his brother and went to go talk to somebody else about the manner of the situation. So I'm basically just giving you the context of what happened that day, or in them times where David was basically in the vicinity of Goliath and him hearing everything that's going on. You understand? Now, basically what happened was, I'm gonna give you the rest of the story for time's sake. But basically what happened was, matter of fact, Salafi, let me get to that part. I'm gonna just give it to y'all for context, right? For time's sake. So basically, David like, look, who is dude? I don't care about none of that. I fight for the living God. You understand? I'll go fight him. You understand? David, a little dude. You understand? He a young dude at that. But he get at Saul like, look, Saul, I'll go out there and fight him. If everybody else scared, then I'll go fight him. Saul like, bruh, you a kid for real. You understand? Goliath been trained and skilled in war since he was young like you. You understand? He do this. Are you sure you want to do this? David like, man, yep, I fight for the Lord. You understand? So Saul like, all right, Saul take off his own armor, his own helmet, put it on David. It's so big on David. David like, yeah, bro, I ain't never used none of these weapons of war before. You understand? I'm cool. Take it off his head. You understand? Give it back to him. Like, look, I got this slingshot. Gonna get these pebbles. You understand? Or these rocks, and I know I'm defeated. You understand? So David go out there, hit Goliath in the head with the rock. Goliath fall down on his face. You feel me? Basically knocked out from getting hit from a rock and a slingshot. David rock up, cut his head off, you understand? And that was the end of Goliath, you understand? So David got famous in what transpired between him and Goliath, you understand? And I'm gonna get to I'm gonna jump down to 1 Samuel chapter 18, and I'm gonna start at verse 5. And David went out. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. So David, he the top dog in the war now after what happened with Goliath. So Saul will send David every which way that he wanted to send him, and basically give him orders. And it said David, Salakia. And it said David behaved himself wisely, meaning David followed orders. He did exactly what Saul told him to do when he was supposed to do it. He followed orders like a good servant should follow orders. You understand? Like the brothers in the ISUP camp under Commander General Yana, we follow orders from men above us. You understand? And it came to pass as they came when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, that the women came out of all cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000. So David is getting praise from all the women of Israel over King Saul as far as like what he did in battle. You understand? The sisters are saying Saul done slayed 1,000, but David 10,000. You understand? And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? So Saul, like, he mad. Like, hold on. They saying I done only killed 1,000, and this nigga done killed 10,000. This nigga take the kingdom from me. He could very well be the king. You understand? That's jealousy and envy of Saul. You understand? If Saul was a righteous brother, he would have sat back and looked at David like, man, I got a good soldier. You understand? Like, this little nigga raw in war. I'm very pleased with how this nigga serving me so much that I'm sending him out on missions and they praising him more than me. This is how brothers of high rank in the ISUBK feel about the men that's under them. You understand? Time and time again, I hear from captains. Shout out Captain Quam. Shout out Captain Goodall. You understand? The captains on the West Coast. Time and time, I hear these brothers tell us, like, yeah, man, y'all, we training y'all for y'all to be better than us, for y'all to take our spots. You understand? We want y'all to do our job better than what we did it. You understand? Shout out to Commander General Yohana. Shout out to General Mahane. Shout out to all the 7 generals. You understand? All the captains. You understand? All the 5,000s, the 500s, the 50s. Shout out to every general, captain, and officer, and sister, trooper, and young man in this ISUBK. You understand? Because without the ISUBK, you're gonna have brothers that think like Saul all across the planet Earth. You understand? In this UPK, we don't get down like Saul. You understand? Being jealous and envious of a brother because he put in more work than you. You understand? Or because he's more skilled at breakdowns than you. Or in Saul's case, he's more skilled in war and killing than you. You understand? That's not brotherhood to envy your brother and want to do something to that brother. You understand? Just because he has fame amongst Israel. You understand? Reading on. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. So when it says he eyed David, meaning he had an evil eye toward David. He was looking at David like, hey, you think you think you that. You understand? You think you the man. You understand? Verse 10. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand. And at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. You understand? Now, David is in Salakia. David is in Saul's house. He chilling. Saul got a javelin in his hand, and a javelin is Salakia. Let me get the proper definition of what a javelin is. A javelin is it's a big old stick. You understand? Big heavy stick that if you watch the Olympics, they throw that big old stick. You understand? To see how far it go. That's a big heavy stick. Well, back then, you throwing a javelin at a person is damn near the equivalent of you shooting a gun at a person. You understand? You get hit with that javelin. You understand? That javelin can impale your whole body and go right through you. You understand? Saul tried to kill David. You understand? Twice. You hear me? David seen that and was like, yep, I gotta get up out of here. Dude, tripping. You understand? It's a lot here. Was that it on that? And verse 12. And Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him and was departed from Saul. You understand? Saul was jealous and envious of David because he seen that the Lord was with David now. You understand? That's what jealousy and envy would do. It would make you kill your brother or attempt to kill your brother. You understand? It's a lot here. All right. Let me go to Proverbs 14 and 30. You understand? Jealousy and envy, that's a dangerous trait to have. You understand? So a lot of brothers that sit in prison for a long time, a lot of times for the rest of their life, for holding grudges, jealousy, and envy. You understand? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 30. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy, the rottenness of the bones. You understand? You sit back and be envious of a person if you want to, it will kill you from inside. You understand? Like you're gonna be so stressed out behind envying another person, you're literally going to kill yourself. You understand? With stress on being envious of another person. You understand? Let me get 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. It's a lot here. Bear with me, Israel. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4. So like what that is. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. That word charity in the Bible is love. That's not giving money to less fortunate people. You understand? Let me read that one more time. Charity suffereth long. When you love somebody, you're going to suffer for that person. You understand? And you're going to suffer long for that person. You understand? You might got a person that do something wrong to you, but if you really got love for that person, you understand? You're going to give that person the benefit of the doubt, or you're not going to hold a grudge against that person. You understand? And it's kind. When you love a person, you're going to be kind to that person. You're not going to be sitting up there trying to ridicule that person. You understand? You're not going to hold a grudge or be jealous and envious of that person. You understand? Charity envieth not. Let me read that again. Charity envieth not. If you love a person, you're not going to envy a person. You understand? If you love your brother, you're not going to envy your brother. That don't go hand in hand. You can't love your brother and be jealous of the brother. You understand? Charity vaunted not itself. It's not puffed up. You understand? If you love your brother, you're not finna sit up here and be like, oh, that nigga don't be putting more work in me, man. I do this, I do that. Woo, woo, you feel me? Like, man, I've been doing this. You understand? Or you just started doing this. You understand? You ain't gonna puff yourself up to be over your brother. You understand? That's not showing love to your brother. Let me get 1 Peter chapter 2. Salakia. Is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, get that away from you. Lie that aside. Purge that out of your life. You understand? Come up in this ISUBK and up under Commander General Yana and understand how to love your people the right way. You understand? Lying aside all malice. Get that malice and hatred out your heart. You understand? And all guile and all hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings. You understand? Verse 2. As newborn babies desire the sincere milk of the word that ye may grow thereby. You understand? You know how a newborn baby needs to suckle his mother to get that nutrients from that milk. You understand? So that baby can grow and be healthy. You understand? This is why Christ saying, look, you got to be born again and be as babies. You understand? Come in the ISUBK and come in here humbly. You understand? Don't come in here thinking, oh, I know everything, or I know all the breakdowns, or brothers ain't putting in that much work. And nah, man, you got to come in here humble. You understand? You got to come in here willing to be taught. We don't know a damn thing when we come in here. You understand? You gotta be born again and be willing to listen to knowledge and righteous counsel and judgment. You understand? So, Lakia, I'm gonna jump to the book of Titus, chapter 3. You understand? Because brothers in this eye should be careful under Commander General Yana. We understand that we don't know everything. You understand? We understand that it's a lot of stuff that we can be taught. You understand? And we willing to be as newborn babies and come up in here, you understand, and humble ourselves down so we can get the proper knowledge and the proper breakdowns of how to live life as righteous men up under Commander General Yohanan and the ISUBK. That's why the scriptures say, in order for you to inherit the kingdom, you must be born again. You understand? You can't come here with the same spirit of that old man who you was in the world. You can't come in here and be a know-it-all. You can't come in here bragging and boasting about the work that you put in. You understand? That's not being brotherly to your nation. That's not being brotherly to the brother that you go to war with week in and week out. You understand? If a brother is not putting in as much work as you understand, or vice versa, man, let it go how it's supposed to go. We ain't supposed to puff ourselves up and be bragging and boasting about all the work that we put in the school or outside of the school. You understand? That will cause strife between brothers. You understand? Basically puffing yourself up to make it seem like you a better person. Like the scripture said, beware of the leaven of the Sadducees and the Pharisees. These wicked Christian pastor niggas, these niggas is puffed up. Oh, I'm a man of God, and I live by the word and the blood of Jesus. Man, that's BS. Them niggas ain't living by no word of God. You understand? They sitting up here teaching our people to be jealous and envious of each other. You understand? They teaching our women not to be in subjection to their husbands, like the scriptures say. You understand? These Christian pastors, they deceiving you. You understand? For you to they deceiving you for you to think that you can still live a life of sin and you get the kingdom of heaven. You understand? That's not brotherhood. Teaching you to be jealous and envious of another person, you understand, or another brother in your nation, that's not brotherhood. You understand? You can't listen to a person that has no brotherhood on how to get brotherhood. You understand? And the ISUBK, we do this week in and week out. We sacrifice our time with our wives, our children, you understand, our families at home. We sacrificing our Saturdays to go outside and wake up our people. You understand? We doing what needs to be done in the ISUBK up under Commander General Yana because we understand brotherhood. You understand? This is the book of Titus, chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 1. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work. You understand? That's basically self-explanatory. You understand? You got to be willing to follow orders. You understand? You got to be willing to do exactly what's expected of you to further our people getting our kingdom back. You understand? Up under Christ. Verse 2, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. You can't be sitting back slandering your brother, you understand, and trying to fight your brother and getting physical and getting in physical confrontations with your people. You understand? We can't do that. You understand? For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy, hateful and hating one another. Man, Peter, like, look, bro, we all used to be sinners. You understand? We was deceived by this oppressor, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Yeah, we understood what we did in the past was wrong. You understand? But we became new creatures. We became as babies and was born again. You understand? And that is the reason why we are in the truth now. You understand? It's because we understand that old man that we was, that old man can do nothing for us as far as us furthering our nation. You can't be an envious man. You understand? You can't be a prideful, boastful man. You can't be a man that holds your grudge and still uplift your people. You understand? That don't go hand in hand. You got to humble yourself down. You understand? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And that neighbor is your brother, your sister of your nation. You understand? We got to love each other as we supposed to love. So like we got to love each other like we want to be loved. You understand? You don't want nobody holding a grudge against you. You understand? You don't want nobody to be envious of you because you know what type of hate that breeds for our whole nation. You understand? With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the class. Israel, holding grudges and being envious is two quick ways to get your nation slaughtered and devoured by another nation. You understand? You don't get along with your brother or you hold a grudge against the children of your people. These other nations have action to devour you. You understand? It's a saying in the world, united we stand and divided we fall. You understand? And that's exactly what's going to happen and continue to happen with the children of Israel if we don't come up in this ISUBK up under Commander General Yohana and understand how to have brotherhood and not hold grudges and don't be envious of one another. Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatham to the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Lathan by Hashem, Yahweh Shai to the sisters. We get into these security announcements. Salakia. We are the ISUBK and the Commander General Yohana, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in Hebrew, or ma'asharah. 10% of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Announce holy convocations from sheep. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. The next holy day we have coming up is yesterday. Obviously, everybody in Israel know we held the memorial of blowing of the trumpets. You understand? Everybody in their zone celebrated. It was a beautiful event for brothers and sisters to come out and be able to keep our customs as far as us celebrating our high holy days. The next event, I don't want to say event, but the next holy day for us is the Day of Atonement. You understand? No food, no water. You understand? For 24 hours for any able-bodied Israelite. You understand? And that's how you keep that holy day. You understand? We are commanded by the Lord to afflict our souls, and we do that by abstaining from the bare necessities that we need to survive, which is food and water. You understand? If you're sick, you have an ailment, or you're pregnant, or you have an ailment of you have to eat. You understand? You are exempt from celebrating this, like sisters is pregnant, people that have certain medical conditions. You understand? Children are exempt for this. You understand? It's just the able-bodied Israelites that's of a certain age that can do this. You understand? With that being said, shalom, Israel.